Hello everybody and welcome back to Odin's Movie Blog. I am the critic who is a cynic. Hope you're doing well, and today we've got to talk about absolute chaos going on with the Endgame pre-sales. So do you have your tickets to Endgame yet? If you do, some might say you're pretty lucky because the websites have been down all day. So when this actually finally went live, again, when I saw the tweet that the new trailer had been released, it also talked about how the tickets were on sale. I immediately went to my Adam's Ticket app, and of course, it was crashing. It was not working. So then I decided to open up the AMC app, and the AMC app never actually opened because, of course, everything was being bogged down. When finally I tried to get online with it, try to get on a computer, try not to be on just my phone, all of a sudden, more chaos happened. Still could not get on. Finally went to Fandango. Fandango actually had it set up to where you were put in a digital line, and when I got put in my digital line, it was said over an hour that I would have to wait before I would actually be able to buy the tickets, of which I would only have about a 20-minute window to complete the order. So what I ended up doing, I ended up just deciding to close it all, waiting another couple of hours, and then finally, no CNN, I do not care about any of this nonsense. And then I decided instead to wait, and I got access to it. And of course, almost all of the seats were sold out for the Dolby showing that I really wanted to see at 6:45 at my theater. But luckily, there were a couple of seats left over for the IMAX. And all I can say is that, yeah, this movie is going to make giant money at the box office just based on pre-sales. Oh, but weren't you saying that you can't trust pre-sales? Yeah, when your pre-sales are crazy to the point where you are shutting down websites, when people are selling out opening night tickets on day one of those tickets going on sale, that is success. That is something that you can point to and say, this movie's going to make money. Very different than the whole, oh my gosh, well the rates are so high, and oh my gosh, this is now the second highest with the pre-sale ratings of all time according to Fandango, and therefore the movie must be successful, right? Remember that we've already decided and already made clear that success box office wise does not mean that a movie is good or not. Sorry, Captain Marvel, but it doesn't matter if you hit the $1 billion or not because your movie still sucks. Still is a C- film. Sorry. And for all the little trolls and bots out there that are still saying, you're just so salty because you were wrong and now you're backtracking, you're such a hypocrite. No, I admitted that I was wrong and that I misread things and I explained how I misread things. It's important not just to say that you're wrong, it's important to know why you were wrong. This is something that people like you don't understand because you're wrong a lot of the time and you don't recognize that you're wrong, and then if you were to recognize that you were wrong, you wouldn't know where to begin with trying to figure out how you got things wrong. But I digress. The point is, Avengers Endgame ticket pre-sales has been absolute chaos, and I was a part of the chaos this morning by trying just to open up the app, and as it says here on Screen Rant, it indeed crashed the entire AMC Theaters website. Not just the app, but the entire website itself. In fact, when Atom Tickets was finally getting back online, because even Atom Tickets was having some issues early on too. When I finally went over to the AMC side of it, they said, AMC's having issues, come back later. So this actually, to me, shows a couple of things. One, this movie is going to be very popular. This movie is going to do very well. It's going to have a gigantic opening weekend. I'm already saying right now, this is going to break records. This is a movie that you can say already is going to break records. Name the last movie that had this type of mad rush just to buy tickets, just to see it opening night, just to buy a ticket for Friday. Like, seriously, think of the last movie that you had anything like this going on. So first off, this is going to be a successful movie. And it's not going to be because of this one right here. It's going to be thanks to white men. Yes, that's right. Oh my gosh, I said it. Oh my gosh, no, Odin, you can't say that. That's racist. Well, really, are you trying to tell me that Robert Downey Jr. is not one of the main reasons why people are going to see this movie? Are you trying to tell me that Iron Man is not one of the main reasons people are going? Chris Evans as Captain America, that's not one of the main reasons? Chris Hemsworth? Notice that they're the three biggest heads on this. Why do you think that is? Oh, wait, that's right, because they have been the ones that have been bringing in the money. Oh, but Captain Marvel, she's brought in $1 billion. She's important, too. Yeah, and she's also been shoehorned in and possibly has destroyed part of the storyline because of it. Let's just be honest with ourselves here. All of these things can indeed be true. She can be very successful at the box office, and she can also have a really crappy storyline and story arc that actually causes more problems and causes so many more plot holes than anything else. However, I trust the Russos. In the Russos we trust, and I think that the Russos are going to be able to take that character that was destroyed by those knuckleheads that were the ones that wrote and directed her film, and are actually going to try and make her into a more likable, hopefully more likable, and also more compelling character as well. Really hoping for that. But I really also think that because the movie's 3 hours, you're going to see a lot of character arcs. A lot of the minor characters are going to have parts to play. A lot of the minor characters are going to have the abilities to be used in a variety of ways. I'm actually kind of upset here that you have actually Scott Lang, who's so much smaller. Oh, but he's Ant-Man, he should be smaller. Yes, but he was a character that came out long before Carol Danvers here, and yet she's bigger. Oh, well, the box office, that's the reason why. No. The reason why is because of identity politics. Let's just be honest here. Because if we were going to be honest, obviously these three should be gigantic. I think that Scarlett Johansson should be gigantic as well. Technically, Hawkeye's been around for a long time, so I would say that he should be pretty big too. Also, I think that, If you look over to the Iron Man side of things, I think that we could definitely make a case here for Don Cheadle as well. But Scott Lang would be the other one, because even though he came around in 2015, that's still a good 4 years before Captain Marvel made it to the scene, and yet somehow, some way, she is bigger. Notice how close she is to Thanos also. Has me a little concerned. Has me a little concerned that the studios are going to try to make sure that she is indeed the most powerful beings in this universe, and I just don't think that's going to be a good thing going forward. However, I'm excited for Endgame. I'm excited. I have my tickets. I'm excited for it. I'm going to go be seeing one of the first showings of it. So technically, there's a fan event at 5 p.m. I don't know exactly when that first movie actually starts, though. I'm assuming it starts closer to the 6 p.m. than anything else. So I know that they have that going on, but I have what I know of, at least in the United States, one of the earliest showings, which is 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I will be able to let you guys know as soon as I get out of it at 9 p.m., probably 9:15, 9:20 because of the previews, that whether or not this film is good or not, whether or not it's SJW, whether or not the Russos finally go woke, whether or not the studios make the Russos go woke, and how that actually plays out in the long run. But what we can tell from this is very clear. This is indeed going to be a record-breaking film. This is like without a shadow of a doubt. See, this is where it's not just people putting opinions out there. This is not when you're just being like, oh, I'm going to shill for this movie, shill. This is when you're saying, no, this actually caused a website to crash. This is already selling out opening night tickets in the first day, within the first few hours of the tickets going on sale. Therefore, we can pretty much predict that this is going to break records because of that. Very different than the, oh, but her rates are so great. The rates are so great for her, and so therefore she's going to do so well. Again, hopefully you realize that there is indeed a clear difference between the two. But anyway, this is indeed chaos going on. Do you have your tickets to Endgame yet? Are you going to see Endgame? I know there's a lot of people that are sitting it out because of all the nonsense with Captain Marvel, but also I know that more people are actually saying, no, I'm going to see it. This is the last thing I'm going to see. And obviously, I want to see it first because I don't want anything spoiled for me, and I'm going to come to you guys with a spoiler-free review, and obviously, I'm also going to talk about it as well. The one things that I will spoil is whether or not you have Captain Marvel being an SJW being overpowered. That I will tell you about, and whether it means that I'm revealing whether or not she is the one that deals the killing blow to Thanos or not, I will obviously be very careful with it. Don't worry, though, I will always tell you before I say any spoilers once I actually see the film, because I don't want to ruin it for anybody, whether there's some people that really want to see it or people that don't care. I will do the very best that I can to make clear, hey, spoiler alert, this is when this is about to happen. So anyway, what are y'all's guys' thoughts about this? As I said, just looking at this poster here, it is interesting to me that they talk all about this diversity, and yet they're the ones that are going to ignore the fact that, as you see here with the 3 giant white men leading this charge, that they are the reason why this is happening. That, especially Robert Downey Jr., all the work that he's done with Iron Man, all the work that he's done with Tony Stark over the years, all the work that Chris Evans has done as well with Captain America. Captain America being one of the most successful of the franchises. Just go ahead and look to Captain America Civil War, which essentially became a mini Avengers film. Even Hemsworth himself. Yes, the first Thor film was great. Dark World, not so good. Ragnarok was amazing, was fantastic. And so you have these 3 giant figures here, and they have obviously a lot to play, a huge part to play in this film. What I don't like is I don't like how they're almost giving Brie Larson here more image space. They're giving her more space on this image than freaking Ant-Man, who's been around much longer, and who I think, and I predicted this after Ant-Man and the Wasp, is going to play a much larger role in all of this, because the Quantum Realm, as we've seen from the trailers, is going to play, like, seriously, go back to when I was talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp. I was saying, guys, the Quantum Realm, I predict, is going to play a giant role in this film. Looks like it is indeed going to take place, seeing that all of them were in those quantum suits. But once again, that person, unfortunately, Paul Rudd, is just not seen as being as important as her, who gets to be the closest to Thanos and also gets to be bigger than Scott Lang. Anyway, that's just my thoughts on this. What are your thoughts on this poster? What are your thoughts on all of this? Were you able to get your tickets? Were you able to get through? I also think that this also says a lot about how unprepared AMC actually was. See, this is a moment. This is a giant cultural moment. This is a very important cultural moment because this is something that I don't know if will ever be replicated. I cannot see in the future any film. Episode 9 for Star Wars, do not see it doing nearly what this does. Do not see it. Oh, well, by then they'll have prepared and they'll have safeguards against it, and they'll make excuses as to why it didn't, do as well or didn't crash any sites or anything when Episode 9 tickets go on sale. But this is an event. 22 films, 11 years. This is something and a huge event in the making. This is the end of a saga, not just a phase, but an entire saga, of which the entire first 22 films have now been made a part of. And this is going to be the end note for a lot of characters, supposedly, presumably, and this is also going to set the tone for the future. And I think if anyone is going to be the one that's going to be able to set that right tone, it's going to be the Russos. The question is Kevin Feige going to try and push any of his political nonsense into it to try and say, the next phase is going to be woke, the next saga is going to be woke? Because if that's the case, get ready to act just like Marvel Comics and go down the drain. Love to hear your thoughts about that, and love to hear about thoughts about all of this stuff in the comments below. If you like this video, smash the like button, give me the thumbs up, give me a thumbs up, give me a subscribe. You're all amazing and beautiful people. Have a wonderful day, and as always, God bless.